Basse, Marcus here again, and I had a few dreams last night that I don't remember after I wake up after a while. But the thing I remember about both the dreams was the double helix, like the infinity symbol, which was very much involved in both the dreams. And although now I've got no recollection really of what went on in the dreams, when I woke up I did write down what it was about. And it reminded me that what I've been writing a lot about recently, and what I've been singing a lot about actually, although you've only probably heard one of the songs, there are some more on the way. What I've been writing the music about, the lyrics have come through, and a lot of the stuff I've been talking about and thinking about is something we've talked about for many years, and something I've strived most of my life to do, and that is to stay in the now. And we tell people, you know, as we do, stay in the now, be in the present, don't jump ahead, don't go to the future, because the future doesn't exist. There is no future, there's only now. Your now is all that there is. There is no past. Your past has been and gone and has made you who you are now, has helped you become who you are now, has made the world in such a way to enable you to be who you are now. And that's all that's important really. And we can talk about this all day, but the feeling I received this morning when I woke up about this was totally different. If anything, it was more scientific actually. And what I was given, and see if this makes any sense, is I was shown, you all know what I mean by the infinity sign. It's like an 8 on its side. Shown this infinity sign. And wherever we are in life on this pathway that we live our lives on, wherever we are, if we're not in our present now moment, in our thoughts, in our being really, let's just talk about in our being. If we're not in our being at that time and space, on that pathway, say here, if we're not in our being at that moment and we're thinking about, let's say, what we're going to do next week, we're not able to be in synchronicity with what is actually happening at that moment on our pathway. So I try to, I like to use analogies, as you know, because analogies to me make everything more real. So when I woke up, I wrote this analogy down to help. And let's say that we're planning a journey. We're going away somewhere on a long journey. And we're planning it meticulously. And we notice that when we get to a certain level crossing, at 8:30 and 0.03 of a second every day, there's a train that's 2 miles long going through. And I know that doesn't happen here, it does in the States maybe, but there's a train 2 miles long going through that level crossing at 8:30 and 0.03 of a second. So what do? We plan our route so that we get there at 8:30. That leaves us 0.03 of a second to get across, which of course anyone can do. We're there before the moment of the train. That's what's important. In our lives, when we live each moment of every day, there's lots of things going on that we're not aware of in 3D world. There's vibrations happening. There's things happening in our environment that we may or may not pick up on. If you are in your being, you will pick up everything that you have planned to pick up already. Now, what do I mean by you have planned? So, there's a lot of theory and a lot of discussion about this, and I believe this 100%. That before a soul comes into this lifetime, before it's incarnated, before we reincarnate, what we do is we make a little plan with our guides who are here to help us, and we plan our route. We plan the journey we're going to take because we know as souls what we need to pick up in this life, what we need to master in this life that we have so far not mastered, what we need to achieve that we've failed at every time up to now. Of course, there's no real failure, but what we need to do that we haven't yet done or mastered. And so we have a plan, and we plan it all out. It's meticulous. 0.003 of a second is a long space in time for this plan. Okay? Everything's meticulously planned. But if you're not in the now moment, when a certain thing is going to occur, you're going to miss it. If you're not in your being when a person is telling you something that will change your life completely, because your thoughts will totally change overnight. If you're not in your being when that person is telling you this, you could quite easily miss it. If you're thinking about tomorrow or yesterday or later, when that is happening, you might easily miss what is being told you. You might easily miss what you're seeing ahead of you, at the side of you, behind you, because you're not there in your space. I mean, it sounds simple, and it is, but I think it's all like a lot of things, it's quite profound as well when you realise this and how important it is to stay in your now, stay in your being, because that's all that there is. There is nothing else except now. No, not then. Now. You know what I mean. So, have a think about that. Be interested to get any comments. It's quite an eye-opener really for me. Knowing this, but actually visualising it are two different things. And once I put the analogy to it, it all made so much sense. How important it is. And I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm certainly on the road to doing it a lot more. Being in the present all the time. And the reason I know about this is because we are very blessed, and we thank those beings of light and love who guard, guide and protect us each day. Because we're very blessed in as much as we have been able to live our lives with this ability in the last few years, to a large extent. And that has allowed us to see miracles, if you like. A lot of people would say, well, that's not a miracle, it's a coincidence. But it's not. They're little miracles that have happened for us because of this. Because when you're in the now, when you're in the present moment, when you're synchronized with your journey's path fully, you won't miss anything. Every opportunity will be there in front of you. And that's another thing, actually, something I've been telling people for a little while that have come to me, is that you no longer have to go out and search for the things that you're looking for. You just have to be there, and they come to you now. In a way, that's part of this, because we are so much more in tune with everything. We're so much more synchronized with everything in the universe now. Because we're mostly raised up to fifth dimension and above, we are now synchronized more with everything. But this is just a little bit extra as well as that. Have a think about it. Let me know what you think. It's all for today. Namaste. Stay well. Stay in the present. Stay in the now. And how. See you next time.